Hi, my name is Rachel Hambley. Have you ever wondered why communication is so important? Or why people have always said communication is key? Or this person has no communication skills? Well, I'm here today to show you why communication can be so important and why it's important that everyone understands communication. There are three main aspects of why communication is so important. Communications is a process that people will use throughout their entire lives without even knowing it. Communications is learned when you're a baby. It's not something that you just know naturally, it's something that's learned. And communication can also be such a powerful thing. Nobody really understands it, but words have so much meaning. Communications is an important process in our everyday lives. There are two main types of communication that we use in our lives. There's interactive and transitional. Today, I want to talk about the interactive form of communication. Interactive communications is where people will have a conversation back and forth. There's two people, say two friends, for example. Two friends will have a conversation back and forth with each other, and one friend will come up to the other and say, "Hi, how are you today?" And the other one will reply, "I'm doing good. How are you doing?" That is an interactive conversation because both people are giving a question and answering a question. So it's interactive. We will use interactive communication in our daily lives every day without even realizing it. These skills are not things that come naturally to humans. It's something that we learn. Communications is learned when people are babies. Have you ever wondered why people will look at a baby and just start talking to it? It's a little weird, isn't it? The baby can't respond. The baby can only make noises like cooing or noises like wah, or they will make a motion with their hands. That is because the baby is in the process of learning how to communicate, which is really kind of weird if you think about it, because we don't know how to talk then, but we understand how words come across, which I think is really weird. But babies will start to learn how communications work when they're just a couple weeks old, which is kind of crazy because I don't know about you, but I've never talked to a baby that's a couple weeks old and had them respond. That's just crazy. But they will learn from their surroundings. They'll learn how to talk, and that is when a baby will start talking, is when they've learned those words and they can finally begin to form them in their brains themselves, which is really cool. The learning aspect of communications, we don't just learn how to communicate, we also can learn the power of communication and the power of words. We can learn how things such as songs can have so much meaning to us, or quotes, or a book, or a movie. Have you ever wondered why you read a quote in a book and you're like, wow, that was really moving. Like, I feel that on a different level. That's something that was learned. Words can be so powerful. The power of communication is just so grand. We never realize how powerful communications can be because sometimes it's not if you don't know how to interpret the words or to say the words. I have a favorite quote. My favorite quote is by Walt Disney. Walt Disney once said, "Anything is possible. If you can dream it, you can do it." I live by those words because I've had so many dreams, and I actually just made one a reality. And I just think it's crazy that those words on a different level can be taken so just out of everything. Like, I began to have a dream about wanting to work at Disney. It was my childhood dream to work at Disney and to just work for the company. I never thought that that would be possible. And a couple years later, now I can say I've worked for Disney. and I'm actually planning on going back, which is crazy that the power of those words, I live by them. I think in the end, we can agree that we learned some important things about communication and how communications has been with us throughout our lives on a daily basis, and how we can now communicate and not even realize it. We've learned so much about talking to people and interacting with people. We've also realized the power that words have. I hope you have a great night, and thank you for listening.